Hard times are not a cure, but a blessing waiting upon your reaction. That is the quote that was submitted in my Rise and Grind planner. That is the quote that was right there at the top, contributed by my friend Shanae Van Niekerk. Now, Shanae and I have had the pleasure of meeting one time in Nashville, Tennessee. We met at this event called Grow Your Business for God's Sake, which was just an incredible event with live speakers and incredible music. And it was just fascinating, right? One of these fascinating events that came out of nowhere and literally shook the core of everybody in attendance. And so as soon as I read this quote this morning, as I woke up and was attacking my morning routine, and I read the quote, "Hard times are not a cure, but a blessing waiting upon your reaction." And I saw it was from Shanae. I thought, my goodness, man, how amazing is this, that we live in a world where our friends, those that we don't even necessarily have deep connections with, or those that we haven't, I've only met Shanae one time at one event for a total of maybe an hour, right? And yet here it is, Friday, March 19th, 2021, and her words, her contribution, and her impact were able to really jumpstart the way I start today. I mean, how relevant is this quote? Hard times are not a cure, but a blessing waiting upon your reaction. I know there are many people in this room right now, many people watching this show on Facebook. There are many of you that may have or may be going through some hard times. And if that's you, I just want to say these words to you one last time from Shanae, and then we'll dive into today's episode of #Rise and Grind. Listen, hard times are not a cure, but they are ultimately a blessing waiting upon your reaction. How are you going to respond? You see, you are the catalyst for all things great in your life. You have a choice. Make it. Go out there and make an impact. Let's go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? There's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts. Good morning and welcome to #Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Friday, TGIF. That's right. Today is Friday, March 19th, 2021. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Friday, March 19th, 2021. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible, once-in-a-lifetime day. That's really what it is. This is a once-in-a-lifetime. This is it. This is your only shot ever that you've got to make today, Friday, March 19th, 2021, the most incredible day of your life. And you get to choose Just a reminder, letting you know. Listen, I love Fridays. I'm coming to you live from Tampa, Florida. That's right. This is my suite down here in Tampa. And just so you guys know, I stay at the fanciest suites in the world every time I travel. That's right. I'm a huge fan of the Holiday Inn Express. I'm just saying. Something about Holiday Inn Expresses. They're all over the place. They're easy to get into. They got a separate room so you guys don't have to see my bed. For those of you that are watching on Facebook, you don't have to see the bed. I always got a little living room. They take really good care of me. They're super nice. I get a microwave in every room, a refrigerator in every room. Don't have to ask for none of that stuff. So for those of you that are Mr. and Mrs. Fancy Pants in your hotel world, I'm just letting you know, Holiday Inn Express, it's the spot. It's the spot. And that's my endorsement from Holiday Inn Express. Hopefully they'll give me one of those one day. But I'm coming to you live from Tampa, Florida, and I am super excited to be here. Yesterday, I did some traveling. And as I was traveling, I wasn't able to be live on the show in the way that could deliver awesome value for you. And so I asked my friend, Danelle Delgado, if she could come on and do yesterday's episode of Rise and Grind. Now, if any of you watched that episode yesterday, go ahead and drop it in the comments if you enjoyed Danelle, if you thought what Danelle had to offer was valuable. I thought it was absolute fire, but I was thinking about it more like, how cool is it? How cool is it that I get to not only be friends with Danelle Delgado, who's just an amazing human, but that I can call on this friend who's in Hawaii, by the way, right? She's in Hawaii. She's with her family. Sorry, I'm having a little tech thing here. There we go. She's in Hawaii. She's with her family. It's 11:30 at night in Hawaii when it's 5:30 in the morning over here. It's 11:30 at night. And I call her and I say, hey, Danelle, are you going to be up at 11:30? And she's like, of course. I'm late night, Danelle. Of course I'll be up. And immediately, I didn't even have to say it. She goes, oh my gosh, I'm going to be up during Rise and Grind. I'll be up during Rise and Grind. And I was like, well, yeah. As a matter of fact, not only will you be up during Rise and Grind, but would you mind covering for me on Rise and Grind? And she immediately said yes. And with very short notice, put together an impactful and incredible session yesterday. So I am so thankful for my friend, Danelle Delgado. What a great friend she is. Do you have friends in your life that are like that? Do you have friends in your life that you can call last minute while they're on vacation in Hawaii, across the country and beyond, that would get up for you or stay up for you and go live and do a 30-minute show, or step in any position that you're in, step in where you're at and come through in the clutch? Do you have those people in your life? I hope that you do. I hope that you do. It really makes the world a better place when you have friends that you can count on, like-minded people with similar core values, right? That are willing to run through walls for you, that will energize you, jack you up, will do all of these incredible things to make you a better human. What Danelle did yesterday edifies me. You see, Danelle didn't do that yesterday for her. Danelle did that yesterday for me because I've shown up here 828 times because I've always edified her and connected her with other humans. I've done everything in my power to serve her, so a drop of a hat, she was ready to serve me. So I want to say thank you to Danelle Delgado. What a great friend she is. And this week we've been talking about friends all week. That's actually been the theme of the series, right? We talked earlier in the week about how important it was to understand that the uniqueness of people, the uniqueness of surrounding ourselves with different types of friends, right? Friends that are taller than us, shorter than us, bigger than us, smaller than us, darker than us, lighter than us, right? Friends that believe what we believe and friends that don't believe in the same things that we believe in. They may have a difference of opinion. Like-hearted people, not necessarily like-minded people, but just getting around this whole hodgepodge and celebrating everyone's uniqueness, right? We talked about that on Monday. We also talked about on Tuesday, we talked about how important it is that to be kind is to be clear. That the kindest thing you can do for another human is to be incredibly clear with them of their areas of opportunity for development and growth, right? We also talked about on Wednesday how you should keep your friends close, but you keep your enemies closer. And not for the reasons you think, not so that you can protect yourself from them when they're on the attack, but ultimately because you might just be able to be a light in their life. You might just be able to be a light in their life. And of course, Danelle, she talked about connected circles and how important that was and is to rise together. So today I only have one question for you. What about your social media friends? Do those really count? Are your social media friends real or are they not? We're going to dive into that here today on hashtag Rise and Grind. Before we do, though, you know what we got to do up in here. That's right. Make sure you get those levels right. Before we do, you know what we got to do up in here. We got to dance, my friends. We got to dance. Yeah, those levels sound a little bit crazy. A little bit different. I'm on the road. Bear with me. This is Tony with the keys. Hashtag Rise and Grind. I love this song, right? I love this song. Listen, first thing in the morning, we got to get the body moving. We got to get this body in motion. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Objects at rest tend to stay at rest. So let's go. Let's get the body moving. If you're out running right now, I need you to run a little bit faster. If you're lifting weights, let's go ahead and add a few pounds. Come on. You got it. If you're on the treadmill or the Peloton, pick it up. Turn up that tension. Let's go. Turn up the tension. Let's get it rocking and rolling. Or maybe you're just dancing. Dancing in your living room, dancing at the grocery store, whatever it is for you. Let's just get this body in motion. Fair enough? Boom. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live, you're watching replay, maybe you're listening or watching on YouTube, maybe you're checking it out over on the podcast, wherever it is, I want you to connect with me. Drop a review, subscribe, all those fun things, right? Do all those things, connect with me. I want to connect with you. Super, super important. And then this is also the part of the show I need you to hit that share button. If you're on Facebook, share it out. If you're on Clubhouse, hit the plus sign. Let's get some people in here, all right? Let's do it. Good morning, Mrs. Emily Dowling. Great to see you. What's up, Wendy Reeves? How you doing, John Colton-Bourne, Amy Kennedy, Janelle Villegas in the house, Vicky Everett. What's up, Barrett Trout? Great to see you. Melissa Trout, great to see you as well. Mr. Melvin Rodriguez, Heather Ivy is in the house. Eddie Brown is up in here. Fix your sound. What's wrong with the sound? What's wrong with the sound? What's wrong with the sound? A little bit buzzing in the sound. Alright, cool. I'll turn that down. Cool. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, man. I'm working on it. Dude. Let me see. Let me see. I'll fix that for you guys. Everything you need to choose to be the best version of yourself. The music will be on here in just a second. How about that? Well, I also want to say good morning to our Clubhouse peeps. What's up, Michael? How you doing? Camilla, Angel's in the house. We've got Monica and Johnny and Jenny and Ed and Big Mike. We've got Danille in the house. Mrs. Alicia, Priscilla, and Emily and Eunice. What's up, Megana? Great to see you. We've got Damon and Kyle. And then Mark Ellison's up in here. What's up, Raymond? How you doing, Chef? Heather's in the house. Sarah's in the house. Oh my God. Packed over here on the Clubhouse. We've got Abel and Marisa and Wes is up in there. Eric's here. Evan, Arthur, Linda, Patricia, Laya, Rochelle, Andrew, everybody. We're on hashtag Rise and Grind. It's crazy. Crazy. I love it. Alright, let's dive in. Let's dive in since we got a little sound issue over there. Oh, wow. Let's go and dive into today's episode. Alright, go up. I have to say sorry to those in Facebook land. Apparently, I don't know why it's doing it, but apparently everything's like volume 900 across the board. So people are like, whoa, I should change my alarm to this sound level. I apologize. Well, I guess you're awake now then. If I've been screaming at you all morning, apologize for that. Listen, I want to tell you a story of this pretty cool person. Her name's Joy Farley. Like, Joy is my sister from another mister. Joy is this beautiful spirit and this incredible soul and just this spectacular human, like all the way around, spectacular human. When you see her, you can't help but get lit up. If you follow her on her Instagrams or her Facebooks, or you get to share a room with her on Clubhouse, any of those places, she adds so much value to your life. Like, her name, her birthright is spot on. Like, Joy brings joy to everyone that she connects with. And so Joy and I met recently on Clubhouse. And after meeting Joy, we've had some conversations and back channels and things like that. And we're like the same, we're the same people. We grew up in similar situations. We've experienced similar things. And so we were able to connect and bond through the things that make us alike, but then also grow each other through the things that make us unique and different. And I, this morning, am so incredibly grateful for my friend, Joy. But what's interesting is I've never met her. I've never met her in real life, ever. We've never met in the physical realm. We've only met through our sounds and our text and our words, right? It's the only way that we've connected. But with that said, I've been able to say good morning and share my mornings with her. She's probably running right now. I know her habits. I've been able to share my mornings with her for the last couple months. And to be honest, I say good morning more times to my friend Joy than I do my neighbor down the street that I very rarely ever see, if at all. Crazy, right? There's also this guy named Brian Hess. Man, this guy, Brian Hess, and I, like, we just jive, man. Brian's one of those guys. He does a morning show every day, kind of like we do here with hashtag Rise and Grind. And he's got this incredible perspective on life. He really looks at it in a very unique and different way. And he's an amazing husband. Like, I know how much he loves his wife. Him and I have conversations about how important our wives are in our lives. And he's just this awesome dude, right, that resonates. Him and I, we think the same, we move the same, we look a little different, we come from different backgrounds, but ultimately he moves me forward, I move him forward. We're getting ready to do things together, like we're going to do a retreat together in some fabulous exotic place down the road. And he helps me with Rise and Grind. He's helped me here on Rise and Grind. He's helped me in Clubhouse with Breakfast with Champions. He's there 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 a.m. to help keep the ball rolling and help make sure everything's on point. He's completely shifted and changed his life around to be able to be a part of that. He supported Grow Your Business for God's Sake. He supports my Rise and Grind Elite Mastermind course. He does all of those things. But what's crazy is not only is he one of my best friends, but I've never met him. We've never met in person. Like, it's never happened. We've never physically been in the same place at the same time. We were supposed to at Grow Your Business for God's Sake, but then something came up and it just hasn't happened yet. And so the first time I will actually meet him in person is when we are at this exotic location together, pouring into other humans and serving one another. Maybe, unless he sneaks over to Kentucky a little before that so that we can make it happen. But isn't that incredible? I mean, he's made a massive impact in my life over the last couple of years, like a massive impact. And yet we've never met in person. You know, a couple weeks ago, this woman named Tamara Andress she came into my world more than a couple weeks ago, but a couple weeks ago she reached out and she said, "Glenn, we got to do something fun. I put together a flash mob in New York City before, and I want to put together a flash mob for the Rise and Grind song so that we can edify Tony with the keys, so that we can do something really fun in this season, and we can get up and we can dance and we can unite and we can bring people together of all different backgrounds, ethnicities, and experiences, so we can really do something that unifies people across the platforms." And so we're going to do a virtual flash mob, and people are all going to do the same dance to the same song, and we're going to put it out there in social media all at the same time, and we're just going to boom, like virtual flash mob the world. And I'm like, "Tamara, what an amazing idea. I can't believe that you would do this." And since then, she has put together Google Drives and Sheets and email drip campaigns, and she's put together influencers from all around the world, right? Major influencers, people that have millions and millions of followers on TikTok and Instagram and all these different platforms. And we have a website that you can go to. It's riseandgrindmob.com, riseandgrindmob.com. Go to that website. Just pop in your email. That's all you have to do. Go to the website, pop in your email, and you're going to start getting emails from us. The countdown is on. Like, here's the dance. It's fully choreographed by a real professional choreographer, right? And it's like, here's the dance. Here's what you need to learn. Here's how you're going to post it. She made videos. She made a 5-minute video of how you post the video on TikTok for people like me that have no idea what I'm doing. She made a 13-minute video of how you take the video and post it into Reels on Instagram for people like me. She literally broke down every single step of this to make sure that it's so inclusive of every human that has any interest whatsoever in being a part of this super fun thing. So make sure you go to riseandgrindmob.com so you can check it out. But my point is, I've never met Tamara. We've never met. We've never met in person. We've talked. We've had conversations. We're creating this thing together, but yet we've never met physically. And so I find it fascinating because I have stories like this that could go on and on and on. There are so many people that I ended up meeting, but initially had not. You know, a guy like Don Sankey, him and I are good friends now. We've met in person, but all started by social media. Janelle Griego and I are really good friends now. All started from social media, Hustle and Grind Con. Tina Bacon's been in my house. That started from social media. She's met my wife. She's met my kids. You know, Terry LaPierre's a big part of my life. Joel Tomlinson, like all of these people, man, it's crazy. The Twang sisters. You guys know that those that don't know the Twang sisters, they haven't hit Clubhouse yet, but when they come hitting Clubhouse, y'all better watch out. But the Twang sisters have done incredible things, like all of these relationships that started from social media. It's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. In 2021, there are so many ways now for us to connect. And yet at the same time, the world seems very disconnected. And so the question is, do your social media friends count? And so what I want to do is I want to give you a checklist because some of them do and some of them don't. Some of them do and some of them don't. Your followers, those aren't your friends. Like if it's just a follower, that's not your friend, right? That's not your friend, right? It's not about how many followers you have. It's about how many friends, like real life connections can you make, right? Where people want to serve and you get to serve them. And so I'm going to just give you a quick little checklist so that you can tell whether they're just like a follower or something on social or an actual friend. And the first thing on your checklist that I want you, this is number one. This is how you can tell if your social media friend is actually your friend or not. Do they add to, not subtract from? In all of these examples that I just gave you, joy adds to my life. She doesn't subtract from. She brings me joy. She is a light. She never brings darkness into my world. She adds to. She doesn't subtract from. Brian Hess adds to. He doesn't subtract from. He has connected me with amazing individuals. He inspires me with his show and his perspective on life, his love for his family and for his wife. He is an add to, definitely not a subtract from. Tamara, same way. big time add to. Like, this woman blows me away. I called my digital marketing team. And I was like, hey, this woman's moving at lightning speed, bro. Look at what she's created. It's fascinating to me that she's been able to create all these things, right? She is an add to, not a subtract from. What about yours? What about the people in your social media circles? Are they adding to your life, or are they subtracting from? And when I say add to, I mean add to positively, not add to negatively. Like, oh yeah, they add plenty of stories of violence, death, and destruction into my world. That's not the type of add to I'm talking about. A positive add to. That's number one on the checklist on whether or not you can determine if they count. Number two is, do they move you forward, not hold you back? You see, it's really important that the people that you surround yourself with, the circles that you put yourself in, that they're circles that move your life forward, because there are plenty that will hold us back. And a lot of the times, the people that are holding us back are the ones that love us the most, and they don't realize it, but they're the ones that are saying, slow down, you're going too hard, you can't do that. Why